Hi everyone, my name is Fatina Kila binti Azmin. Order membership number D2019209104. In this video, I would like to show you guys how to make fish and chip. Fish and chip is a hot dish consisting of fried fish. The dish originated in England, where these two components had been introduced from separate immigrant culture. This not known who created the culinary fusion that became the emblematic British meal.
This is the equipment that you need. Firstly, you have to boiling potatoes. Wash your potatoes and just rise it. And then heat the pot, put some salt onto the pot. And then just wait for 30 to 35 minutes and replace the potatoes. For the second step, you need to fillet the fish. First step 1, you are going to lift up the skin and I'm going a diagonal cut toward the head, so we aren't going to get into any of the inside. It's going to be a clean process. I'm going to take the knife along the backbone, and my goal during this step is to cut through just the skin. I'm not worried about the meat at this point, so I will through the skin, and now keeping the tip of the knife along the backbone, I'm going to go all the way from the top of the head down to the tail, so just a small amount of an axis inside the fish. When I get to the tail, I'm going to put a horizontal cut from the top to the bottom. Holding it against the backbone, I'm just going to feel between the backbone and the meat, just sliding using a gentle pressure and work my way through the fish until I get to the pain bones. Next, I'm just going to cut. I grab a hold of the skin and I'm more pulling the fish that cutting, so I get a good grip on that skin. Keep the knife level with your cutting board and it pull on through. Then I cut 3 portions of and skin. And the beauty fish of the fish is that so robust but so delicate. Third step, you need to do veloute sauce. Firstly, you have to melt a 40 gram butter and just going to gently melt it and put a 40 gram of flour and then mix together and just put a stock. This is called a roll, again classic terminology which is this recipe but gathering college friends word that means something of chef. Here's the main don't know what they are. Roll butter equal amount cooked together, and this option is called sandy roll. So we just want to the texture look a little bit sandy, so once we got this, we just want to start adding in a little bit of stock at time to where I did hot cook, and then just add more little bit of citrus onto the pot. And then for the coloring, I just use a yellow coloring and just stir it together with the ingredients. And for the seasoning, I just put white pepper onto the pot and salt and just stir it together to make sure the ingredient mix well. For the vegetable, we have 6 tomatoes, 5 gram of carrot and 5 gram of broccoli. Firstly, you need to wash tomatoes, broccoli and the carrot, and then peel off the carrot. Make sure hygiene first, and then cut the cherry tomatoes. After that, you have to cut the carrot I just cut the carrot into a batonette size. You can just cut into whatever you like, because this is just for plating. So this is the process of cutting. Firstly, you have to boil the broccoli. You can just add salt, and for a few minutes you can just place it onto the plain bowl. After you boil the broccoli, you need to boil the carrot and then just place it onto the plain bowl. Lastly, you have to saute the tomatoes. You need to put the oil onto the pan and then just put the baby or cherry tomatoes, seasoning with a salt and black pepper. You can just place it after you saute the tomatoes well. For the mashed potato, firstly you need to put 200 ml of full cream milk and then put 200 ml of cooking cream, and then I use a head of garlic. Just put the garlic onto the pot that you already cut into two, and then I just put a thyme. You can just use like sage or bay leaf or even rosemary. Just wait for 5 minutes to bring a simmer. You can see the simmer, but you don't want a rapid boil. For the next process, you have to peel the potatoes to make sure hygiene, and then you have to rice the potatoes. Next, smash the potatoes, make sure it's smooth to blend. I'm going to add the warm liquid, so I'm going about a half of cup, and you don't want to overwork it. I just kind of want to be super gentle. And then I'm going to add the 2 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature. You want a room temperature that just so really easy to melt. For the last step, you need to grill the fish. Firstly, you have to put the oil onto the pan and then put the fish that you already cut. Make sure you put the fish one by one and gentle. You can just seasoning the fish with black pepper and just put a little bit of salt also can if you want, and then brush that skin to make sure that nice and crispy. After the fish cook, you can place it onto the plate, and this is the final product. Thank you for watching.